What is the most logically terrifying part of motion command? Is it the extension of the race or the realization that the siren in your dream is just beautiful mask for the things that are currently slowing you down? If you found yourself predicting the exact obsolescence of a tech giant by the specific latency signatures of its decision-making loop because you have mapped the mathematical pattern of kinetic stagnation with 99.9% accuracy, would you call it a productivity audit or the final psychological takeover of a system you have reduced to its own lack of drive? If the mountain is a constant and the desire is a variable, why are you still solving for stability of the stop instead of absolute efficacy of the go? How do you keep your vibration high when you are being told but your low is the only thing that determines your weight? If the path is made of logic, why are you still acting as though motivation is feeling when momentum is the only thing that survives the night in the 2026 software of the mountain? If the specific way the soul of the slothful shout examples of zeal reveals a fundamental activation energy error in the way you have been launching your current 2026 initiatives. Do you see a crowd of runners or the final tactical manual for your absolute dominance throughout the strategy mastery of the motion? If the liberation coefficient L of a strategic entity is function of the alignment between its internal readiness R and the total release of its sunk cost attachments A. At what precise point of your 2026 asset management does your obsession with acquisition transition from high-level growth strategy into catastrophic purgation error that effectively pins your logic to the floor? Can you imagine what it will render you incapable of feeling the upward pull of 10,000 divided percentage market shift because you are too busy containing the pennies in the dust? And can you calculate the exact increase in your operational freedom if you stop modeling your security as a pile of gold and start modeling it as a high utility flow of value where the ability to walk away is your primary leverage point? If you were standing on a mountain and felt it begin to shake with the sudden cold command to leave everything behind because you calculated that your hoarding logic is currently creating a structural instability in your 2026 architecture, would you have the logical ruthlessness to rejoice in the loss to secure the climb? How does it feel to realize that greed is often just high-level form of system constipation where your inputs have exceeded your capacity to process, and that the reason you feel so calibrated is that your brain understands that in the final hunt, the one with the least to lose is the one who eventually wins the game. If a purgation command is to an obsession, as an earthquake is to a static cliff, at what precise point of the shaking does the fear become the flight? Do you believe that your net worth is a sign of your power, or do you see that it is high-level strategic ballast error where you are confusing your cargo with your engine, and that the hunter's law is that you must be the one who lightens the load? What is the most logically terrifying part of the purgation command? Is it the sound of the mountain breaking, or the realization that the souls are lying face down because they never looked up when they were alive? If you found yourself predicting the exact collapse of a legacy portfolio by the specific attachment signatures of its board members, because you have mapped the mathematical patterns of resource stagnation with 99.9% accuracy, would you call it a liquidation audit or the final psychological takeover of a system you have reduced to its own heavy metal?